And they do care about the children, don't they? That's the main thing. They care about the children, but they are there for our support.
Because they employ people who have a real caring heart, a real knowledge of their business, and a real in-depth understanding of the things you can sometimes have problems with.
You can talk to anyone about the children in your care because everybody knows them.
You don't have to give your whole story to a robot and then give it, by robot I mean an answering machine, a robot, then another person and then another person.
You can ask them anything, even if it was something personal in my life, I could ask advice. They're sort of nice people.
We want to be in a family-run fostering agency, not a business-run agency. We want to be with people that we trust and people that we know.
And Carol and Denise was just very open and honest.
They look after you. It's like a family and always has been.
We visit our foster carers monthly and we're talking to them in between. So that's support.
Because sometimes you do need someone to tell you that you've done the right thing. Even though in your mind you know you've done the right thing, you just need someone to say to you, yep, I would have handled that exactly the same way. So.
Jade ran away one evening, so my first port of call is ring out of hours. And they was on the phone, we was on the phone together from start to finish as I'm following the girl. And it's like, Jade, you've got to come home, you can't be doing this. And we was on the phone until we knew everything was sorted.
There's often a time when you don't know always the answers to what you need to know. So if there's somebody on the end of the phone, that's good. And sometimes you need somebody in authority who knows what they're doing to come and talk to the people if you're having difficulties.
It's primarily about being available. It's about being available for your carers as much as you can be. It is telephone support, and it is face-to-face support, and it's occasions like the support groups as well.
It's only foster carers who understand other foster carers.
So it's nice to be able to talk to other foster carers about your child or something you're going through at that moment, and and bounce off them, they give you a bit of advice, and it's just nice to have that.
So training is very important, and for me especially, that over the years I've been with them, we're consistently moving along with the times, with the legislation, and so we have lots of information, lots of input, which always helps us greatly.
Spoke to my manager Carol and said to her, I'm really thinking about doing British Sign Language, and she said, great, if you want to learn it, go for it, and whatever it costs, we will pay for the course. My first name is Kim. I work for Affinity foster carers. I've worked with Affinity for about 3 years.
The other part about training is you always gather a lot with other carers, so you have a lot of times for discussion about maybe things you're dealing with and what other people are dealing with, and it's always a good time to meet and share things that you've sometimes good and often very funny, and it's always good to come out knowing more than when you went in.
And they're not bad children, they're children that have had bad things done to them, and they need love and support just like any other child.
It is a challenging job, but it is a very rewarding job as well.
I think it enhances your life.
Yeah.
Because if you can help the children and just to have a normal, decent life, it's really a good, I know it's not about us, but it's a very good feeling that you've helped them.
It's very rewarding.
Yeah.
I find it very rewarding.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do it. It was never the right time. I didn't think it was right to do it when my own children were young. The youngest went off to university, and it was a time. I missed her terribly, and empty nest syndrome, I suppose, and it was a time to do it. It was great, yeah.
People kept saying, oh, you're great with kids, oh, you've done well with your kids. Sort of most of it was, on your own. Yeah, let's do this. Let's give a little bit of a change. So I've only sort of really done general shop work, that type of thing. So okay, let's give it a go, and it's something I really enjoy.
I would say if you've got a heart for giving, if you really want to see a change in other people's lives and you think you can help other people, then I would say it's a really good business to get into.
You think that this child that comes into your care is going to be so grateful, and they are going to love being in your home. The truth of the matter is that probably 9 times out of 10, those children really want to be with their birth parents.
Probably the hardest thing you'll ever do, at times the most rewarding, but there's no getting away from it. It's very difficult. But you have to want to do it from the heart. You know, if it's for financial reasons, to me, don't bother, because you're not doing it for the right reasons.
Looked after children is like dripping water on a glass that's covered with cling film. And it's true, and you keep dripping, and eventually the film will weaken and the water will pour in the glass. And I think that's like fostering. It eventually starts to get through, and they think, well, actually, I've done my worst. I'm still here. They must really care about me.
Wait and go to everyone, after you. I said, George, you ain't to walk Riley, get on the bus. So we used to get on the bus. Then one morning, I said, come George, we're getting off now. I got off and he was still on the bus.
After you.
After you, yeah.
The eldest child that I've got, who came to me, a very, very troubled young kid, he's now 17 and doing his A-levels, and he's going to go to university and hopefully be a lawyer. And I sit back now and think, well, did I do my job properly? Yes, absolutely, because I'm extremely proud of him.
She's a very, very, very good runner. You know, she could become an international athlete. That's how good she is. She's in 1,500 metres, that sort of distance. She goes to Scouts now, and she goes to theatre group on a Saturday morning. I'm keep her busy.
One day, we was at the caravan, they've got an owner's pool where just the owners sit round. We were sitting there and he said, God, I didn't know life was like this. I just thought you was born, you was miserable and you died. He said, I didn't know life was this wonderful. I said, George, you wait till I get you on that aeroplane and we go abroad.
Well, I work with the applicants and the foster carers from when they first ring up and register with us to that they want to become carers, and I see them through all their processes in the background part of it, so they don't actually have to worry about the admin paper side, and they only have to concentrate with their social workers on the actual assessment to get that part of it done. I guide them through the admin process, their DBS checks, etc. And I also tell them when they need to give in their notice. If they're transferring from another agency, I will then send over the information to them so they don't have to worry about typing up the letter. They just ping it off to their agency and it's done and dusted.
We've been with our previous agency for a number of years, and when Affinity came online, we decided that we wanted to move for various reasons. And when we put the applications forward, it didn't take as long as we thought, and in fact it was fairly quick and quite painless.
Carol spoke to me and said, would you like to have a meeting? Which we did. She spoke to me about a new company called Affinity. It sounded great, and that's why I gave it time and moved over, because she made me feel comfortable. She made me feel to belong to something.
They did all the paperwork and they sent you the forms that we had to forward onto our agency. Yeah, it was simple. Yeah, no problem. Everything was done for us.